Hi everyone, welcome back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another Rumour Has It video. We'll talk about players linked to Newcastle United in the upcoming transfer window. It's only October, I hear you say, but there is names being linked to the club week after week. So we thought we'd just do a couple of quick videos just to look at the stats as we always do, give our opinion about what we think about the links and whether we think the player would fit the system or not. So we'll get stuck right into this in a minute. It's a midfielder, this one. Well, midfielder, you can kind of play anywhere really, but midfielder predominantly, and actually a very decent Premier League footballer too. So we'll get stuck right into that in a minute. Just before we do, a little reminder as we always do. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We'd love you to come and join us. We're over 5,400 subs now. Loads of room for you guys. Smash the button, come and join us. Like the video, be a member if you fancy. It's less than £2 a month and loads of Evermore content, early access to videos like the rants, etc., etc. So well worth smacking that button and come and join us, ever grow in the community of Evermore. So who we're talking about, who am I rambling on about? Well, it's this lad right here, Morgan Gibbs-White. Now, just before I get stuck into this, there has been rumours of Morgan Gibbs-White in Newcastle for quite some time, even before he made his move from Wolves to Forest at 42 million quid, which I hold my hands up. I ridiculed. I couldn't believe Forest were dropping 42 million quid in this kid. I didn't really know a great deal about him. I didn't really pay much attention to him. But wow, I was wrong about that. Since he's gone to Forest, he's been pretty decent, to be fair, has to say. And he starred for England under 21s alongside our very own Anthony Gordon in the summer by winning that tournament. So yeah, there is links. Apparently, they're going to doing the rounds, whether you believe them or not, how authentic they are. I'm not too sure. It could just be noise. Could be agents trying to get a better deal for Gibbs-White. But there is talk that apparently Eddie Howe was a big fan of the player. And Newcastle have already had some chats with his representatives, whether you believe that or not. As I say, that's not for us to say. We're not in the know. We're just talking about what we've seen rumbling around in the backgrounds of social media and written print and everything else as well. So Gibbs-White apparently is a player that Newcastle have got their eyes on. So we've compared him there to Miggy Almiron. You might say that's unfair, but Gibbs-White can play in a multitude of positions, which I think is what makes him maybe an appealing target for a lot of football clubs, including potentially Newcastle. He can play right wing, he can play attacking midfield, he can play left wing, he can even play as a holding midfielder as well. He can play up front. The lad seems to have played everywhere. He's a really, really versatile player. So starting at the top, he's 23 years old, so he's got a few years on Miggy Almiron there. In competitions, this season, he's played 9 games versus Miggy's 11. He's got 1 assist and 0 goals versus Miggy's 3 goals. It's passing, so he's passing the ball 40 times per game. He's got a 68 passing percent ratio there against Miggy's 81, which obviously isn't as strong as Miggy's passing statistics there. Progressive passing, he is very good at passing it forward. If you actually watch any highlights of Gibbs-White, he seems to have this real ability to keep his head in a swivel and see where his teammates are running. So when he gets the ball, quite often he releases it first time outside of the peg, inside of the peg, and it seems to be a perfectly weighted pass. And that's a real skill to have as a footballer, especially if you're in a team where you've got some great forward runners as well. So that is a real good asset that the Gibbs-White has to his game. His key passing, you can see there, he's over 2 key passes a game. So a lot more than what Miggy's delivering at the moment. Bruno tends to do our key passing in our team. But Gibbs-White is definitely that fulcrum in that Forest side. His goal creation chances are 0.27, are decent. His assists 0.14 per 90 minutes. His shots 1.91, shots on target 0.27. So he's a bit behind in that regard from Miggy, but he seems to be more of a goal creator than a goal scorer. And obviously, he's got no goals moving forward there. We've got his market value at 34, but I think it'd be a bit more than that, seeing how Forest sign him for 42. They'd probably want about 50 odd million quid possibly for him as well. But looking at the red, amber, and greens, in terms of his goal threat, it's not great statistics really to look at. He doesn't score a lot of goals, as I said there, but looking below, his assists are pretty decent, pretty strong. His through balls are absolutely fantastic. His crossing is decent as well. We saw him set up a goal for Anthony Gordon in the under-21s with a great ball in the box, little clip cross, and great header by Anthony Gordon. He actually wins a lot of headers as well. He's just under 6 foot, wins a lot of headers there. Progressive passing isn't too bad, and key passing is quite strong. His touches in the final third aren't great in terms of in the area. His progressive carries are a bit low too, and his carries into the area are a little bit on the low side. But I do think there's a player there. I think it's a kind of a player that Eddie Howe could really coach further on to the next level. The issue that we have, I think, at the moment is we're pretty stacked in midfield. I mean, obviously, there's this news about Tonali. Nobody knows what's going to happen there. Will he be banned or not be banned? We don't know. It's not ideal, obviously, to be going on behind the scenes. But in terms of our midfield area, you've got Bruno Guimaraes, you've got Joe Linton, you've got Tonali, providing he still play. You've got Sean Longstaff, you've got Joe Willett coming back. You've got Elliot Anderson's been fantastic this season. We've seen flashes of Louis Miley. So, I mean, that's 8 I'm up to there. So I'm not sure where Gibbs-White would fit into the centre of midfield. Maybe if you pushed him further forward into one of those front three positions, he could maybe act as good cover for Miggy Almiron. But, the likes of Minter doing so well on loan at Feyenoord, maybe he can come back to the side next season. I don't know. This could just be paper talk bollocks, social media swarming, maybe to try and get this player into the spotlight. Who knows how these things are done these days? But let us know in the comments below what you think about Gibbs-White. I definitely think I was too harsh on him initially. I think there's a real footballer in there. He seems to want the ball a lot, and he's not scared to run at people and make things happen, even in the big games as well, against your Liverpools, your Manchester United, your Arsenals, all this kind of a thing. So yeah, he's definitely kicking on as a player, and at 23 years old, he's got levels to get up and up and up as well. So that he could be one of the best midfielders in England, really, if he really screwed his head and put his mind to it. And maybe Eddie Howe is the manager to get that out of him. He certainly fits the template of what we sign in terms of young with potential to be even better. So maybe he is somebody on Eddie's radar, or possibly even Dan Ashworth with his England links. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below. We always like to hear from you, whether you agree or disagree. Would you go for Gibbs-White? Do you think he'd be a good signing? How much do you think you would get him for? Financial fair play and all that kind of stuff as well? Or do you think our midfield lads are better than he is, and we should just maybe invest more of that time and resource in the likes of Elliot Anderson and Louis Miley? We always like to hear from you. Smash that comment and we'll do our best to reply to you. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd love you to come and join us. Like the video too. Be a member if you fancy. It's just under £2 a month. Loads of great Newcastle United crack for you to get stuck into. Have a belting day wherever you are, and we'll be back when another rumour has it soon enough. See you later. Cheers now. Bye.